Now on CoastTV News.
A reinstated Bill Buckaloo, why some are saying it's reinstating their doubts with the Lewes Fire Department.
Bypassing the bypass.
But now some of the heavier dump trucks coming through.
Why some large trucks are still rolling through downtown Millsboro instead of the bypass.
Fall tourism boost.
Give all the visitors all the reasons to come.
Ocean City hotels packed and cash registers ringing, how extended events are helping the cash flow.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Former Lewes Fire Chief Bill Buckaloo returns, raising questions in the community.
Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. Our top story, the Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice says the reinstatement of embattled former Fire Chief Bill Buckaloo normalizes what they call 18th century behavior. CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken is live at the Lewes Fire Department. Emma, the Alliance says they've been hearing from people of color who are absolutely outraged.
Charlie, the Alliance says how the Lewes Fire Department has handled the situation is inconsistent, and the Alliance says the move to reinstate Buckaloo normalizes racist attitudes and language. Former Lewes Fire Chief Bill Buckaloo is back in the department, and now fears from the Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice are back too.
The question becomes, how can they do this? Why should they do this? What are our standards as a society when some guy can make the remark like the ex-chief did in front of a group of people, thinking it's funny or thinking it's fine? And then our public institutions, which should be policing this type of behavior, say, well, so what? It's over.
Lawson says how the department is handling the situation is hurting public trust.
People put their lives in your hands. And when someone uses that type of language and has repeated events where they show contempt for various members of our society, they need to find another job, not that job.
But other people say Buckaloo being suspended as chief was a fair punishment.
I don't think it should be a life sentence as far as him never being allowed back in. So at this point, I think what they did is justified.
Stephanie Lupo lives in Lewes. She says Buckaloo should have stayed removed for 2 years.
I was very shocked because I understood why he was removed, and that was okay at that point. But then to reinstate him without telling us what's going on, and he's back in, and now everybody's all upset. This is not good communication. So we're left in the dark once again.
Our sources say Buckaloo can once again answer fire calls. The Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice says Buckaloo should resign. We did reach out to Buckaloo again today, and we did not hear back. Reporting live here in Lewes, Emma Aiken, CoastTV News.
All this comes after Buckaloo facing multiple controversies during his time at the department. Bill Buckaloo was serving his 5th term as fire chief at the time of his suspension. Back in 2018, Buckaloo was arrested by Lewes police for disorderly conduct after urinating off a dock. And in 2020, while serving as assistant chief, Buckaloo was suspended for a Facebook post that included a slur aimed at a drag performer following a show in Rehoboth Beach. The post was later deleted, and Buckaloo did issue a public apology. Following Buckaloo's suspension in July, the Lewes Fire Department held an election to pick a new fire chief. Robert Stevens is now currently serving that fire chief role. And full disclosure, the current fire chief, Robert Stevens, is the husband of CoastTV assistant news director and anchor Madeline Overturf. The North Millsboro bypass has been open for a week and a half, and DelDOT says the goal of the $140 million project was to move as much traffic as possible out of the downtown Millsboro area. CoastTV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Millsboro. Our first alert weather Jeep. Brendan, some people say that the bypass is helping, while others say nothing's going to fix the traffic.
Charlie, this is what we are seeing right now on the North Millsboro bypass. Not much traffic, but just before we went live, multiple tractor trailers passed us. And as we go over one of the 4 total bridges in this project, you can see cars heading straight towards us. Now, DelDOT says it's too early to know any exact numbers on how many cars and trucks are using the roadway during a meeting today between DelDOT and Millsboro Council members. DelDOT engineer Mark Lutz says because of the bypass opening less than 2 weeks ago, it will take truck drivers a while for them to learn this new route. Millsboro's mayor says he's spoken with Mount Air Farms and Allen Harim, and truck drivers from those companies' main route is now the bypass.
Now some of the heavier dump trucks coming through, so not related to the poultry industry. So down the road at some point, we'll work with DelDOT and possibly have truck restrictions.
DelDOT is expected to release those exact numbers on how many people are using the North Millsboro bypass after a full month after it was opened. And locals we spoke with today are mixed on this. Some said nothing will fix the traffic here in Millsboro, and others are more optimistic as we are in the early stages with the North Millsboro bypass opening less than 2 weeks ago. Live on the North Millsboro bypass, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
And let's get right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, has the bypass changed traffic in Millsboro?
Let's take a look at the updated results. Well, kind of mixed bag here. 35% say much better now, 44% say too early to tell, 19% say no real change, and 2% say it's more confusing now.
And we do have a comment today. Carla of Georgetown says, it's not the fix-all, but I love it. It makes it much better for where I need to go.
If you haven't voted yet, you can still do that and share a comment. We've actually got quite a few, so we'll share more with you at 11 and those updated results as well. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside into Ocean City. Beautiful night there. Our first alert chief meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now. Paul, gorgeous day today at the end of it.
Yeah, because we knew it was going to rain in the morning time like we talked yesterday, and that's indeed what came into fruition. But we're going to stay clear for the next couple of days, a little bit on the frosty side tomorrow morning, and then we're going to prepare for one monster of a storm that's brewing out in the ocean that could bother us by Sunday. But in Milford right now, we're at 67 degrees, dropping down to 60, mostly clear skies. Now, we do have a small craft advisory, watching out for 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts off of the coast for us, but inland areas, we have a coastal flood advisory that's active for Sussex and it's connected to the high tides and the winds coming through. So it's not because we're expecting any additional rain, just in case you were wondering that. And the small craft advisory, by the way, goes from Ocean City all the way down around Chincoteague and really around the rest of the Delmarva Peninsula. Cold front is pushing through right now very quickly and rapidly, creating a flow coming out of the north. And then we have this, actually right here to our north. We actually have concerns for even cold air to our north falling in our direction.
Paul, thank you. The city of Lewes is considering planting trees on this farmland you see here off of New Road. The city says the 20 acres haven't been farmed in a couple of years, so Lewes is looking to make a new forest there by planting nearly 9,000 trees and shrubs. If approved, it will cost Lewes nearly $11,000 spread over 3 years. The goal is to create a new forest within city limits.
One person was trapped in a car after a crash in Georgetown. That is according to the fire department there. Firefighters say this accident on your screen happened around 7:45 a.m. on Savannah Road and Wilson Road.
In Ocean Pines today, this car crashed into a mailbox and flipped over, and get this, it led to police arresting a fugitive. Police say Matthew Crawford, who drove the car, was wanted in Missouri. He lost control of his car, hit the mailbox, and after the crash, police figured out who he was and arrested him on those charges in Missouri. Governor Matt Meyer held a ceremonial signing of 3 public safety bills today to strengthen law enforcement and protect Delaware communities. Senate Bill 38 provides $3,000 a year to help care for retired police animals. Senate Bill 112 renames the State Police Academy after Colonel James L. Ford Jr. And House Bill 123 makes it a felony to fire a gun at homes, vehicles, businesses, or places of worship. All those are moves that lawmakers say will help keep Delaware families safe.
Years after the idea was first floated, Ocean City's youth sports complex still has no final site and no deadline. The town says the vision hasn't changed. Multiple turf fields outdoors, a year-round indoor facility, and tournaments to boost shoulder seasons. But officials admit the project was overshadowed by other issues.
There are always things that get in the way. You know, obviously it'd be offshore wind. You know, hey, we're very focused on not destroying our vista here and our way of life. But the sports complex will always be there until there's some sort of decision made.
The next steps are to name a location, update costs with the Stadium Authority, and lay out how the town and state would pay.
We're just getting started this evening.
The Philadelphia Phillies in a winner-go-home game tonight, and DSN has a preview leading up to that contest.
And we have some chilly sunshine ahead that could make for a very frosty feel in the morning. More on that coming up.
But first, gates are up for endless summer cruising in Ocean City. How lots of fall events are keeping the busy season rolling when we're back in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Summer may be over, but Ocean City remains a magnet for fun.
Big events in town continue to draw people back to the coast.
Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay is live there in Ocean City. Kevin, the town is setting up for endless summer cruising.
Maddie, Charlie, while things are being broken down at the inlet after the two big music festivals here at the Ocean City Convention Center, things have been set up. If you take a look right behind me, you'll see a stage as well as gates surrounding an area where those hot rods and classic cars will be driving through tomorrow. And hopefully they're not driving too fast. Starting Thursday, Ocean City will be implementing another special event zone in town, which means a lower speed limit of 30 miles an hour, increased fines, and a stronger police presence throughout town, all in preparation for the endless summer cruising event. James Dell has been making time to check out all the revved up engines for the past 10 years.
Favorite part is we come down with our club and we just hang out and look at lots of cool cars.
Endless summer cruising runs from October 9th to 12th, and after that, get ready for the 50th anniversary of Sunfest in town.
The shoulder season is broadening both on the spring and fall side of things, and what that means to the business community is there's more opportunity to continue to delight visitors to the area.
Amy Thompson is the CEO of the Ocean City Chamber of Commerce and says all these extra events keeps the cash registers working overtime deep into the shoulder season.
This just is a chance to, give all the visitors all the reasons to come back and come back again.
Keith Wisnett is the general manager of the Residence Inn in Ocean City and loves the rush of people walking through the door.
A great business platform by the city to really help hotels and restaurants really keep the season alive and keep the year going.
And Dell agrees.
I mean, look at the crowds it brings in. The hotels are full, restaurants are full, so yeah, it's good.
From concerts to cars, as the Ocean City calendar continues to fill up, the off-season continues to shrink, and businesses continue to capitalize on all the visitors here along the coast. Now, another example of how some of these events may grow even further, Wisnat believes that Boardwalk Rock will grow from a 2-day event to a 3-day event next year. That same thing happened to Country Calling this year. I'm Kevin Zapay, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Here's a look at your golf forecast. It's going to be much clearer tomorrow, much cooler tomorrow. Fair, because it's going to be a bit of a frosty start. We'll peak at about mid-60s. Over this weekend, Saturday's looking pretty gorgeous for the most part in the morning time, but then Saturday night and most of Sunday, it's on rocky foundation, best case scenario, to be quite honest. We'll talk about that in mere moments. First of all, in Rehoboth, we're at 68 degrees right now, courtesy of our Boardwalk Plaza camera, and we're going to drop down to 63 under mostly clear skies for late tonight, specifically in Rehoboth. Now, in Rehoboth, we're at 68 degrees, but we're at 69 in Redden, 67 degrees in several locations, including Milford, Bridgeville, Laurel, as well as Seaford, and 67 degrees right now in Salisbury. We did record the rain from earlier today, 3/4 of an inch in Rehoboth. We just had over a half inch in Del Mar, Indian River Inlet, Jones Crossroads, and Laurel. We had over a half inch in Georgetown, Salisbury, as well as Ocean City. And we had just over a half an inch in Ellendale and Lewis, and just shy of that in Dagsboro, Prime Hook, Milford, Seaford, Greenwood, and in Bethany and Slaughter Beaches, we had just over 1/4 of an inch actually, and shy of a half. Overall, we're quiet throughout our neck of the woods. We do have an active coastal flood advisory. Now, this is connected to the high tide that we're expecting along with the winds out of the north, and that stays in effect until Friday at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not because of more rain that's going to be on the way. That's going to be a concern Sunday going into Monday. But overnight, we'll fall into the 40s easily with clear skies. Walking the dog won't be a problem, and we'll have temperatures in the 60s. Taking a look at our cooler and clearer conditions across the Delmarva Peninsula, 63 in Lewes, Rehoboth, and Millsboro. We're looking for winds out of the north at about 11 to 18 miles per hour and 65 degrees for the high. in Cambridge and will warm to the mid-60s in Pocomoke City as well as Snow Hill. Along the coast, look at these winds for the coast. 24 to 27 mile per hour gusts directly out of the north. That, my friend, is a very cutting wind. That's what's happening for Thursday in the morning time, by lunchtime, and going into early Friday morning until we get to, let's say, Friday afternoon where it shifts out of the east. Now, this is my biggest concern. You see this cranking up on Sunday, 5 o'clock in the morning. Here's where it begins. By 8:30 on Sunday, it's still cranking up rain. By Monday in the afternoon, it's still cranking up rain. Then by the time it closes off, it begins to pull out. But that's after it does all of that. Keeping a close eye on what's happening with Tropical Storm Jerry, by the way. But Jerry's not expected to get any closer to us, although it will graduate to a Category 1 status. Finally, here's a look at the 7-day forecast. Yeah, we're looking out for not so great weather on Sunday. And in fact, the models have shifted from Sunday, Monday to Saturday, Sunday. So it's still a moving target, and we're watching it closely.
All right, Paul, thank you. Rural health care in Sussex County getting a little attention from the governor. Matt Meyer visiting Bay Health's Sussex campus in Milford, where he toured the facility and joined healthcare leaders for a roundtable discussion. That conversation focused on strengthening rural health care, expanding access, improving affordability, and exploring grant funding to better support local communities.
I see things as opportunities, try to be optimistic about everything, and while it'll be tough along the way, we have a great group of team members here at Bay Health that will be able to overcome any challenges that come our way.
Bay Health says it's already working to combat some challenges through its mobile health unit, which they say makes it easier for people to access health care.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
What's going on, sports fans? It is time for playoff baseball, and the Philadelphia Phillies are in a must-win scenario tonight. In a best-of-5 series, the Phillies lost the first 2 games. In Game 1, it was the Dodgers in comeback fashion, pulling away 5-3. In Game 2, Philadelphia came up short after a chance in the bottom of the 9th. Now they have to get it done on the road in LA. First pitch at 9:08 p.m. And there is a programming change on the Delmarva Sports Network this Friday. Our game of the night will now be Colonel Richardson and Snow Hill. Both teams are 3-2, and Colonel Richardson is led by Jazier Dickerson, who is DSN's Defensive Player of the Week after having 5 solo tackles and 1 interception. Our coverage will start at 5 p.m. with Down and Distance, scoops and scores at 5:30, and kickoff at 6 p.m. this Friday. And let's see how you, the fans, think this game will pan out. Right now, Colonel Richardson is ahead. Once again, both teams 3-2 and 1A squads that are competing to stay at the top of their class. If you want to have an impact on the results, make sure you head to our website at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com. That'll for us for now. Have a great night.
All right, so go to Ocean City with our DryTech cross-space camera. We're at 68 degrees there with winds out of the north at about 15 miles per hour. We have an active coastal flood advisory, meaning that it's really connected to the high tides, okay, for tonight and going into tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind. That's going to stay active until 3 o'clock. We do have a small craft advisory that we're concerned about as well. Our umbrella giveaway winners, Joe DeSalvo of Millsboro. Congratulations. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by Brogstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We're going to watch out for a possible yellow or red alert day over the weekend.
Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.